Hey everyone, Dr. Shook here. Hope you're doing well today. In today's video, I want to continue our discussion of how autoimmunity can be driven by intestinal permeability, or the lay term is leaky gut. And in this video, I want to talk about how an imbalance in your gut bacteria, which is called dysbiosis, may actually contribute to you reacting to foods that you're eating. So this is a really big problem. Whenever we talk about autoimmunity, I try to share with you guys the overall framework that I use, which I use a framework in functional immunology, which is working with the immune system to decrease immunological reactions with the goal of decreasing the immune system's attack against tissues. And that framework consists of three major components. It consists of the barrier systems, which we're talking about now, which are the intestinal lining is one of the key barrier systems. It takes into consideration triggers, which are food protein reactions, pathogens, and chemicals that can be active triggers. And then also it takes into consideration immune regulation or immune function. Can the immune system create inflammation when it needs it, and can it resolve that inflammation once the threat's gone? So these are the key components that were developed by immunologists. Now, in our series, we've been talking about the intestinal barrier. And in one of my videos, I talked about how if you don't have the right bacteria in the gut, then you may not make postbiotics, which are basically what bacteria make in your gut. It's the byproduct of their metabolism. And in particular, we talked about short-chain fatty acids, and we talked about butyrate. And we said that butyrate helps to keep the gut lining healthy, helps to decrease inflammation, helps the immune cells. You have special immune cells, we talked about those, called dendritic cells, that sample the intestinal environment and digesting food as it moves through the gut, carries it back to the lymph nodes where it trains the immune system on, should we fight or is everything okay? And those dendritic cells, they can be influenced a few different ways. So we talked about butyrate, and if you don't have butyrate, how that can be a problem for the dendritic cells and put them in more of a fight mode. But also, if those bacteria in your gut are more pro-inflammatory, if they're the wrong types of bacteria, if they have cell walls that contain lipopolysaccharides, which is a component that's really inflammatory, if they have flagella, which flagellin are those little whip-like tails that help them with motility. These are some of the components that actually can stimulate an inflammatory response in the gut and shift those dendritic cells that sample the gut environment and shift them into more of a fight mode, so that when they carry those fragments back to the lymph nodes, it shifts the immune system into an inflammatory state and can drive autoimmunity and tissue